What's poppin', people? Join us. Welcome to class. So, as I said yesterday, we are focusing on three letters today. A, well, in English term, A, I, and U. But the pronunciation, obviously, it's a different language. It's different. So for A, it's pronounced ah, kind of like when you go to a dentist. When you go to a dentist and they say ah, open your mouth, or like arigato, ah. When you say nothing like when you're younger or like movies when they're trying to exaggerate on something hurting, like ah, or like when you're scared. There we go. When you're scared, like ah, some shit like that. So it's ah is the pronunciation for A within their language, and it uses three strokes. Now they said top right corner, so I believe it should be here. I think wherever the right corner is, I'll have how to write it, and how many strokes it is. So I believe it is three strokes going from left down and then the swirl. And so, as I said before, what I recommend to do at first is to do repetition. So, if you have a paper in front of you, just write this letter out about, let's say, how many is this? 16 times. And try to get the use of having it within a certain sizing. So, create a box, kind of like this. I'm trying to show you this. Kind of like how they have multiple boxes there. And try to keep them within the same sizing and then write the letters in the center of it. So, you get proportions correctly on your letterings. Obviously, if proportions look weird as shit, the words gonna look weird, and it's not gonna be able to be read. It won't be legible. It's like an alphabet, how we have, our A. But if you have the A fucking over exaggerated on the size, and then you have a C right next to it, it's gonna look fucking stupid. Obviously, we don't want to look fucking stupid. We want to look grammarly correct and literate within this language. So we're gonna start off with A, and you can draw it in repetition. So do understand, you need to be hard on yourself. Go through your letters and see how you rate them. Which ones looked as close as possible to this one. I'm gonna put a PNG of the letter. The more likely my drawing diagram is gonna look the best. But see how out of all the letters that you wrote in repetition, how many of them closely resemble them, and go through your letterings and then cross out what looks absolutely nothing like it. You need to understand the absolute neatness. This is with any fucking language. I have horrible fucking normal writing. I'm bad at English. But here I am trying to learn another language. Ain't that some shit? But go through and find the one that absolutely look dog shit basically, and then just cross them out. So I did a repetition of about 20. They all look, some look alright, some look like dog shit. So go through them, find the ones that absolutely do not match the description of what it should look like, and then just cross them out. Obviously, you want to get as close as possible to what actually it looks like. That is the goal, to understand the language, not to understand language, but to understand the writing the way it is. I probably should have said this before, but like I said, it has three writing brush strokes. So the first one, this way, is a stop, stop, and then a brush. Remember the brush, it has the taper in, so basically the swirl portion will go all the way around and then just flick it off. So here, stop, there, stop, swirl, flick. Basically how you would do the A, or ah. So in here they have a series of words on that have A in it, so you can get a kind of a feel on how to say it. So you have aka, which is red, ari, which I believe is ant, asa is morning, aki. Sorry, I've heard that word before, but aki is autumn, ame or ami is rain or hard candy, and ayo is blue. So those are some words that you kind of like get the gist on writing them. I'll put the words up here in the corner. I'll take a picture of this and I'll put it right here, wherever fucking corner is at, to you'd write them down if you like. I said arigato is the best analogy or word pronunciation to get the gist on how to properly say ah. Arigato would be your best key. Or senpai, pa, the A between the P, A, I of senpai. Arigato, senpai, ah. It's that ah term is what you want to get down correctly. But now let's move on to the next letter. Ie, which is I. Alright, so I, not EA. I'm a fucking dumbass. I'll read another word. But I is pronounced E. So the EA as like easy, the EA would say the pronunciation of their I. So E. Or the in Hawaii, the double I within Hawaii would be the pronunciation of their I. So it's basically like saying E. E Z Hawaii E. I wonder if it's Kauai on here. So like Kauai, it sounds like E, but it's actually an I. But once again, write it down. Repetition. It will be wherever the right hand corner is of how to write it, and it is used on two strokes. It is used on a jump and a stop. So your first one, you go jump to to your second one, and then it goes to a stop. Once again, it'll be in the right hand corner, and now I'm just gonna do repetition of about 20. So as I said before, go through, find which ones look like dog shit, cross them out. Those never happened, and find the ones that you did best. And also, I recommend as you're writing these out, say the word so your brain makes a neural connection of this lining pattern means this. So more likely, when we're just writing this, we're just writing it just over and over and over and over, and we are thinking that it means this, but we speak it, and it connects better within your head. So as you're writing it, say it. So put it down, E, put it down, E, put it down, E. Repetition, repetition, over and over and over type shit. Just to get it lodged in your head that this pattern of letters, of this new language I'm trying to learn and understand, means E. Same thing with I. With these, because it looks like we're just putting lines to a new language. Like when I was first trying to learn this beforehand, it just looks like I'm drawing lines, I'm drawing fucking doodles. But it's a whole language. It's very obviously it's very fucking foreign. That to me in my head, A is a fucking A. It's not these swirls and shit. But we need to make that neural connection of A is A and it's written like this in another language. Same thing with I, which is E. Write it down, repetition, say it, memorize it, keep it lodged within your head. Just keep it going, and also find what looks like fuck ups because you don't want your brain to realize that these fuck ups are the actual letters. You don't want that. That causes your shit to be illegible. Like I said before, I have shit handwriting, but we want it to get as close as possible to be legible. So if you hand someone that speaks fluent Japanese and you tell them what are these letters, if they say absolutely nothing, you fucking failed. But if they could get the gist of the letters you're doing, that is good enough, I would say. My goal at the end of it is that within at least I don't even know how long. How long did it take us to learn the alphabet? But whatever. I wanted within a month. I want to be able to say these alphabets clearly and fluently without having to look at the book. So far we got A and E. That is A and I. This is gonna be real fucking fun. But let's move on to is that the right one? Yeah. U. U as in U as in the O U within youth. U. It says EU, but EU and U kind of sound the same, but I'm pronouncing the EW more emphasized on the E, while the OU is more on the U. So U and U. So they say it sound the same, but I'm gonna just go with the U as in youth. The O and the U in youth is pronunciation of their U. Youth. So once again, go through repetition of right hand corner this letter, and is used of two strokes. It is a stop and a brush. So the top portion is a stop, while the bottom one that kind of looks like an ear or a hook, an upside down hook, is a brush stroke. So you go there and then stroke it down. That sounds horrible, but keep in mind at the getter. But yeah, stop and a brush stroke. So the best thing to keep you lodged into your head is to use the OU from youth. You just use youth as repetition. There's not much ones on here until we learn more letterings to kind of get the gist on how to pronounce the other ones. Because I can't say the other ones, yuchi, yude, yue, yushi, yuma, ume, but those won't really click well because we don't know the other lettering to them. So it kind of just sounds like gibberish or anime talk, I guess. But yeah, so today's lesson's basically done. We had a, and u, which is a, I, and u. Pronunciation of A is I. Pronunciation of I is E. Pronunciation of U is U. Alright, does this sound racist if you try to put an accent to it? Is that racist? Probably is, low key. But yeah, those are 3 letters, repetition. And with the book I got, I believe there should be a website that gives you flashcards because I have them. They were right there. But nevertheless, there are flashcards that go with here. You can make your own. You can write the letter on there for a memorization game. So if someone just shows you it, and then just see if you know it without actually like looking at the paper. So like I'm looking at the letter without trying to look at the letter. If that makes sense. So I'm looking at the Japanese letter without looking at the pronunciation of it. So I know that's I know that's E, and I know that's U. That's kind of the gist of where we want to get to. By the end of this week, I could. What's today? Wednesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 3, 6, 9, 12. About 12 letters. Hopefully, I could get down properly without having to look at said paper. So, like always, stay cultured, have fun, and I'll see you during our next class.